Man, they took my content down, but they let me go back live. I don't know. I don't know how the fuck I'm back live. They said I had hate speech. I'm like, what? What did I say that was hate speech? What did I say that was hate speech? Oh man. God, Chud the Builder can say hate speech, but I can't say the ER. Man, there's some haters out here. There's some haters out here. They finna tell YouTube I'm live again. Ooh, that live was too good. They had to take that one down, boy. Ooh, ooh. Hey, man. Golly, man. Make YouTube fun again, man. These crybabies. You so crybabies. They always say somebody else crying. These Negroes be crying. Maybe it was a warning. I don't know how the heck I'm live. They said it was a flag. How am I live right now, son? Dang. Hey, boy, somebody went to cry, and we cry. We can cry together. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They say a man ain't supposed to cry. These niggas be crying. Hey, look, I had it the way you couldn't even rewind it back, and they got the flag. Boy, these boys be crying. How am I live right now? Haters be mad, miserable as hell. It's probably one of them dudes I blocked out the chat. It probably was dude who got roasted. No, they say it was hate speech. I got flagged for hate speech. God dang. The email say your video was taken down. It says it looks like Kwame Brown current community safe. We removed it. Hate speech. We think the content didn't follow our hate speech credentials. That indicates hatred against individuals or group based on their protected status isn't allowed. Review your content. After review, you can appeal if you think we were wrong, and you can take an optional training course to remove the warning. Okay, they gave me a warning. All right, okay, I'll take the warning. I don't know what I said, but I'll take the warning. Yeah, man, it was just a warning. They gave me a warning for hate speech. Okay, I don't hate anyone. Man, I hope somebody recorded that. Let me go into my StreamYards, because I got to clip out that piece with Myron Gaines. Nah, I might want to leave that out too, because I put that back up. If somebody else put it up and then they don't get no flag, then I'll put it up. Because I ain't putting that back up. They gave me a warning. That's why I'm able to go live. They warned me. Miss Collins, ever since I got my chocolate stolen, I've been different. This pissed me off about that chocolate. I don't know who I hated speech against. I think the N-word did it. I think it was the N-word. Yep, I think it was the N-word that put me over the hill. And I think I made a great point about that community that you cannot say. That I made a great point that if you bring up things that pull on the heartstrings against those people, when the other people was doing what they was doing to those J people, if I say one of those derogatory words that they were using against those people, they would get upset. And we all know it. So stop it. You go to one of the communities in this society and you don't say the right gender or whatever else, they would get upset. They even call words violent now. But now all of a sudden they're going to try to bend the rules for black people. For black people, words are not violent. For the other community, words are violent. They get to shout it in the streets. I've done videos and like, wait a minute, how the fuck are words violent? But for a different community, a different thing that they want to get across, then they'll say that the words are violent. But to make black folks look a certain way, they'll say that we're sensitive and we should just go over every word. So I'll be more careful about how I say it, but I know what I'm saying is factual. So that's why Myron Gaines and the rest of these clowns, that's why they don't want to have a conversation with people like me. They just say I'm crazy. They just say this, they just say that. Because I would just pull on the heartstrings of Myron. I'll go to whatever thing that happened to their family and their friends, and we'll just call them a racist, derogatory name, and we'll see if they whatever out. Because this is stupid at this point. Okay? So I think I made a great point when I said that, and I think they wanted to make sure they take that off of YouTube. So I'll just say it again in a better way that people can respect it. Stop the BS. Black folks are not sensitive. Every race of people were enslaved at one time, and every race of people got something that we can say that their family and their friends have been through that would pull on to their heartstrings and they would become upset, which can turn them violent. That's why they used to have provoke laws. They would not allow people to provoke people that up under a normal day, a normal circumstance, they would not become violent unless you provoke them into violence. And they used to understand that. But now, not so much. You guys have been behind the computer for so long and you want to talk about things in theory. That's not how it works in real life. In real life, you can say the wrong thing and be met with brute force. You can say the wrong thing to the wrong person and that person will end your life right there on the spot. So if you have sons and you have daughters, you're not making them a smarter person by telling them things behind a computer and saying all this stupid shit. You better be able to make it practical and make it work in real life. You better be able to make it practical and make it work in real life. Or you can run into the wrong person that's having a wrong day and you can fuck around and find out.
The gun, somebody else tried to grab the gun, and then it just kind of went from there, because at that point that's not really attempted murder. There was a fight and there's a gun. But folks, this is one of the biggest reasons why we have attorneys on retainer as a sponsor for the show, is these leaner cases. Here's how it works. If you're in a self-defense situation, you call their emergency hotline, you have attorney-client privilege. You're going to...
All right, we don't want to promote anybody's stuff. Salute, 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 salute. Appreciate it. Salute, salute, salute. But let me get to this video. Not him. Let me see. Internet wanksters taking it too far. Well, most people don't like the truth, but like I was saying before, since they don't want me, they want to play like I'm hateful, they want to play like I'm crazy. Let me break it down to you. Every one of our race of people in America have been enslaved. That goes for the Asians, the Chinese, Irish, J people, all people, Indians. You can walk up to an Indian man and say something that will make him harm you. You can walk up to a J person, be disrespectful, and talk about it at a time where their family got harmed and they used a derogatory word, and they're not going to say, I'm above that. They're going to want to know why you're being disrespectful. They're going to want to know where you work at. They're going to want to know a lot of things about you. And once they get that information, that's all she wrote for your black ass. And you know it, I know it, they know it. So to sit up here and try to make it the narrative is black folks are sensitive, I just think you're not going to like it because I'm stupid enough to do it. I'm stupid enough to see. And I'll let you know before I do it. And I'm just going to test that theory that black folks are sensitive. And if it's just words now, if it's just words, then the things that I'm going to let people know are going to start happening to me, that's going to happen, I'm going to say it. And I want to see you guys just shake my hand and let me walk away. I don't think it's going to happen that way. And you know it's not either. So stop it. But anywho, moving right along. They gave me a warning, so I said it in a better way this time. Okay? I said it in a better way. Google, YouTube. All right? All right. So let's just move along. All right. I think this was one of the best speeches that I ever heard. This is definitely one of the best speeches and the most impactful speeches that I've heard from a black heterosexual man in a long time. An unapologetic black heterosexual man that's preaching excellence from himself and his entire family. That's not given, it's earned. He went to Cornell, his sister, his brother, all of them went to Cornell or one of these Ivy League schools. So this is a family of what it is to be great and what America is supposed to be built on and what we're supposed to be pushing. But instead, we push the total opposite. We're going in reverse. We're driving, looking in the rearview mirror, and it does not make sense. And if it wasn't for men like this, the example of black men, the example of black people would be a little less. This man is saying, I got what I got on merit. I got what I got based on my hard work. Same thing MLK and all of the elders were talking about. What they fought and died for is for a man to look like this, to be able to come into a room and by his work and by his resume, he get the respect of all people, not just some people. The black people that disrespect him is because they're not like him. And that is not a good thing. We going too far with this Kendrick Lamar line, not like us. You're using it for the wrong reason. This motherfucker could actually read. That is a good thing. So the fact that we are calling things Jim Crow and we are allowing people to say it's Jim Crow, that's disrespectful to the people who actually went through Jim Crow. They had signs that like this on a tree, on a restaurant saying colored only. Ain't nobody going through that right now. If somebody do that now, you can call the police and then get arrested. You could take their company. You can get a lawsuit. So to act as if redistricting is the same as this, where a grown white person can spit on you and your child, and you better not even look up at them in the face, or that person can come down and wail on you. And if you fought back, they had laws against you fighting back. The court systems, the police would punish you. That you're uppity Negro. And you're comparing this stuff to Jim Crow. And y'all are allowing this. And some of y'all got black family members that told y'all what was happening back then. And you are allowing people that's afraid of their power leaving. You are allowing them to say this. That's crazy. But I want y'all to listen to this speech. I'm about to go outside and spark up because this is one of the best speeches I ever heard.
Colleagues and everyone on the left screaming Jim Crow 2.0, like I hear ad infinitum, requiring identification to vote. It's not oppression. It is not segregation. It is not racism. But somehow showing an ID to vote in America is now considered to be Jim Crow 2.0. Democrat Party survives on manufacturing grievance. They want Americans to fight each other because chaos is politically useful to them. Words like racism and white supremacy and Jim Crow 2.0. That is Jim Crow. For whatever reason, this is what Democrats call Jim Crow.
God dang, look at the mob of white people over that one woman. Golly. Imagine how that woman felt. And you comparing that to this? Come on, man. Come on, bro.
I represent a white majority district along with 3 of my other black colleagues here in Congress. And you know what? Nobody cares about what we look like. And that is precisely why it is so offensive to compare that era of legalized discrimination and racial terror to showing a photo ID in a voting booth. And it's just as offensive when groups and organizations like these manufacture faux hate and racial tension. Requiring identification to vote is not oppression. It is not segregation. It is not racism. It is a basic standard that applies equally to every single American citizen, regardless of what you look like. You need an ID to board a plane. You need an ID to cash a check. You need an ID to buy alcohol. You need an ID to enter these very federal buildings. And by the way, attaining an ID in this country is an extremely low bar. But somehow showing an ID to vote in America is now considered to be Jim Crow 2.0. This is not about civil rights. This is about political theater. And the Democrat Party survives on manufacturing grievance. Democrats invoke the pain of the past because they have nothing to offer for the present. They don't want an honest debate. Survives on manufacturing grievance. Democrats invoke the pain of the past because they have nothing to offer for the present. And the Democrat Party survives on manufacturing grievance. Democrats invoke the pain of the past because they have nothing to offer for the present.
Hello.
They don't want an honest debate. They want emotional manipulation. They want outrage. They want division, as evidenced by our discussion in this very hearing today. They want Americans to fight each other because chaos is politically useful to them. Words like racism and white supremacy and Jim Crow 2.0. For the purposes of elucidating my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, let's take a hard look at what real Jim Crow was. Check out this one behind me. You see, this is Jim Crow. This is what Democrats call Jim Crow. Next slide, please. See, that is Jim Crow. For whatever reason, this is what Democrats call Jim Crow. Slide, please. That is Jim Crow. This is what Democrats call Jim Crow. I know that some of these images can seem to be very jarring to many of us. This is what Democrats call Jim Crow. Slide, please. That.
Do you see anybody getting bit by a German Shepherd and standing there taking it as if they don't even see the dog biting them? Are you comparing showing an ID to a German Shepherd attached to a woman's belly? That's what we comparing to Jim Crow. That's what we're allowing people to say. We're allowing AOC and all these people to keep you in a victim mindset as if you really going through Jim Crow. When you standing there in your Jordans and your big chain with your big pretty cars and your nice apartments, and you saying you going through Jim Crow, when your people went to go vote Republican or vote anything other than Democrat, they was getting fire hosed, bit by dogs, when they didn't have a right to vote at one point. But this is what you call Jim Crow now? Come on, man.
It's Jim Crow. This is what Democrats call Jim Crow. I know that some of these images can seem to be very jarring to many of us that haven't experienced that over the course of the past 40 years of my lifetime. I never saw these things. I never experienced them personally, but I have family members who have and who did. And that's why it is extraordinarily important for us to be very, very careful with what we compare to Jim Crow, because this country has come a very, very long way. I keep saying this over and over and over.
No, you have to show pictures like that, because when you say the country has come a long way, these spoiled little brats don't really get it. That your great-great-grandmother couldn't walk up the street if it wasn't safe for her. If a white boy wanted to take something, he probably could. It's not safe. But now we safe. We get to say and do whatever. We get to be overly aggressive to people. We get to shut people's businesses down. We got a law that will hear us out. And sometimes we win lawsuits. Back in the day, they didn't want to hear you say nothing. Keep your head down, boy. And we want to pretend like we going through the same thing that our parents went through. Man, stop. You ain't strong enough. How them old folks said, boy, you ain't bring enough ass. Paul. We not like the people in the past. They wasn't sensitive. They took a lot of shit. They took people spitting at them, and they didn't crash out and lose their life. They took people calling them the N-word every day and didn't crash out and lose their life. We got the opportunity to do whatever we want, but we still worried about some stupid ass shit.
And over again till I am blue in the face. I represent a white majority district along with 3 of my other black colleagues here in Congress. And you know what? Nobody cares about what we look like. We are being judged out by the color of our skin.
I want y'all to see this. I'm going to run it back one more time. I want y'all to see what they call Jim Crow and what Jim Crow was back in the day. One more again. I want y'all to see the modern day Jim Crow, what they call in Jim Crow 2.0, which is so disrespectful to the black people of the past. Because look at what they actually had to go through. Law enforcement, police, they were all with this black people are lower class citizen shit. Dogs being sucked on you by cops. This is a police officer right there now. Supposed to be a peace officer. And that's them trying to vote. Look at the way we vote now. This is what they call Jim Crow 2.0. How is this the same? This ain't even remotely close. To ever say that this is Jim Crow 2.0 when you see somebody getting beat and bit by dogs, and we don't got to deal with none of that. My baby mama went and voted the other day. Ain't nobody stop her from voting. She sent me a picture. I said, you know you can't vote. They say it's Jim Crow. She laughed and sent me a picture of her voting yesterday because she know I'm into this political shit. She told me, she said, people too sensitive to understand what you're saying. They think what they think. They too sensitive. You ain't going to do nothing but make people not like you. I said, I don't give a damn. Somebody got to do it. To disrespect your ancestors like this when they got bit by dogs, when you sit up here trying to act like you really going through what they went through. You should be just as mad as I am to allow somebody to say that you're going through Jim Crow 2.0 when you ain't going through nothing of the sort. This is a shame. Letting people give you your marching orders like I said they did. You don't know how to have an original thought because white folks still control your mind through pain and trauma. You ain't going through no damn Jim Crow. The stories my mother told me, well, how many black men got knocked out and beat up because these white boys wanted these black women, and these boys would stand up and get the shit beat out of them. They come drag them from the house and beat the brake shoes off of them. You'd be lucky if they end up alive. You're saying black men didn't protect black women. Do you know how many black men died and they don't write no stories about it? This is sad what they're doing to people. This is sad. Jim Crow 2.0. Really?
Black colleagues here in Congress. And you know what? Nobody cares about what we look like. We are being judged not by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character, because we've come a long way from this. I don't want to go back to that. In fact, I want to continue on the path that America has set forward in the name of Jesus Christ. And I want to let people know that we don't need to be angry. We don't need to be divided. We want equality for everyone. Let me be crystal clear. This is not 1960 anymore. It's 2026. And the fact that groups like these are willing to stroke the flames of hate by funding the KKK is absurd. With that, I yield back the remainder of my time. Thank you for being here.
Thank the gentleman. He yields back. We now go to the gentlelady from Pennsylvania, Ms. Scanlon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we heard earlier, in July 1983, the Ku Klux Klan firebombed the Southern Poverty Law Center's offices in Montgomery, Alabama. The Klan carried out its violent attack because the SPLC had stood up against it and has continued to stand up against hate in the following decades, whether it's racial and religious hate, hatred of immigrants, or the LGBTQ community. This melted clock, which was frozen in time by the KKK firebombing, still hangs in SPLC's headquarters as a reminder of the very real dangers of defending American civil liberties from hate. So how grotesque is it, given that history, that the majority has chosen to frame this hearing as an accusation that the Southern Poverty Law Center itself is in the business of manufacturing hate? But with the increasing shamelessness of the Trump administration and its congressional allies, none of us should be surprised that they are desperately trying to manufacture a reason to attack one of the organizations standing up to their assault on American civil rights. They're trying to turn back the clock and drag America backwards into some of the darkest days of our past. What has changed is not the Southern Poverty Law Center, but the way that this administration, with its embrace of white nationalist rhetoric and groups, has decided to rewrite facts and history. In the past year, we've seen pardons of Proud Boys and Oath Keepers who orchestrated the violent January 6th attack. The DOJ hiding from the public government research confirming that right-wing extremism poses the biggest domestic terrorism threat to our nation. The White House issuing NSPM 7 a directive that the Department of Justice and IRS target left-leaning groups that the White House has declared without evidence are a threat to our national security, and members of the administration making repeated statements that they intend to destroy nonprofit groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center that are a threat to their extremist agenda. This White House has engaged in a concerted attack on the pillars of civil society that would ordinarily hold it accountable, going after law firms, the courts, legacy media, universities, organized religion, and even the Pope. We can all see a corrupt DOJ leveraging its power to attack the president's perceived enemies and protect his allies, prosecuting those who've tried to hold the administration accountable, stealing taxpayer dollars to create a $1.8 billion slush fund to make payoffs to Trump loyalists who've been convicted of serious crimes, and giving Trump and his family a gold-plated get-out-of-jail-free card with the settlement agreement that the president's lawyer just signed. The Department of Justice's blatantly political prosecution and this committee's attacks against the Southern Poverty Law Center signaled the revival of an old authoritarian playbook to vilify and discredit those working to combat hate and protect people from oppression. And it's part of this administration's whole of government attempt to shut down opposition to its lawless behavior. This administration and its MAGA allies are trying to rewrite facts and history, just as they've tried to whitewash the violent January 6th assault on our Capitol and our Constitution. But facts have a way of being sticky. They get in the way of lies. Americans have always sought to bend the arc of history towards justice, to hold those in power accountable, and to spur our country towards a more inclusive and perfect union. And we're not going to stop now. We are not going to allow extremists and charlatans to turn back the clock and take our civil rights and repression and put them asunder with hate. So, Ms. Wiley, the DOJ's indictment targets SPLC itself rather than individuals. Is the administration's goal to take out the organization, and why?
Before she speak, ma'am, you said so many things that let us know that you not like us and not for us. Because it's not Trump's fault that the SPLC was found out to allegedly be funding racist organizations that they're supposedly against. That's not Trump's fault. Number two, we can both just sit and point the finger and do the blame game and make excuses, but Biden signed with an auto pen, allegedly, all of the people that was over the January 6th committee, all of the people, including his son, got pardons for things that we don't even know what the hell they got pardoned for. So, ma'am, please stop all this stuff that you're talking. Nobody's trying to hear that. I let that babble play out because to blame Trump for something that they found you doing wrong or them doing wrong, no. The SPLC don't rock with us. And we see it now.
Well, I certainly can't speak for the administration. I think that what is so concerning to us as a civil rights community is that the Southern Poverty Law Center has been attacked because it does work to ensure that Black voters can vote, because it does work to show and ensure that fair maps are drawn for places like Alabama and Louisiana, where yes, because we still have racial segregation in this country, Black people have to be packed or cracked to take away the opportunity for them to decide who can represent them that will actually be accountable to them. These are incredibly important for civil rights, but it's also incredibly important for people's ability to have voice and power, including to dissent and disagree with the policies of this administration.
All right, and that's that. So they want us to believe all this malarkey. These people don't even sound positive. These people don't, this is the Daily Wire right here. These people don't even sound positive. These people sound nothing like Wesley Hunt. Somebody with a plan, somebody that wants something for America and not afraid to tell you what it is. These people only want to tell you that Trump is a bad person. They only want to tell you how much they don't like Trump. How is that an actionable plan for the United States to keep telling us how bad Trump is, how bad Republicans are? Yo, gas prices, food prices, and all this stuff is high. And I know you want to blame Trump for that, but somebody had to goddamn deal with Iran. This is crazy. Now they want to tell people that getting the ID is like, you know, Jim Crow 2.0 because you can't go get an ID. Like, how can you not go get an ID? So they started asking regular people on the streets, Black folks and white folks, do you think Black people can get an ID? And it's funny. I want to say this. White people that think like some of the white people in this video, get a fucking life. I don't know who you are and who you think you are, but I got an ID, stupid. I got to get on a plane today. Guess what? I got to get an ID. I'm not going to go to the TSA and say, hey, I think this is flight suppression. I should try that shit today. I got a flight today. I'm going to go to fucking my flight and say, this is flight suppression. I'm not showing y'all no ID. I'm going to film myself doing it today. This is flight suppression. I'm not showing y'all my ID. Now, let me on the plane. I'm Black. I ain't supposed to be able to get no ID. The Democrats said so. Now, let me on this plane before I sue y'all. You know how stupid that's going to look? Do you know how stupid some of y'all sound saying this? You got to have an ID for everything. I don't want to get stopped and frisked. And the way I don't get stopped and frisked is I got an ID. They'll take your Black ass down to the station to ID you. So no, come on now. I'm going to TSA today. Listen, I don't need an ID to vote. One of the most important things in the world. So don't you dare ask me for no ID to get on no plane, boy. Before you get swole. I'm going to tell them, back up off me before you get swole. And I'm gonna look like this. I lost my chocolate today. That ain't even gonna sound right. I lost a whole thing of Hershey's chocolate today. You don't want to fuck with me today. Not today. And we gonna see how that work out for me. My ass won't be flying. Anyway, Miss Collins, I need that key because I ain't gonna be able to fly nowhere.
Do you have an opinion on voter ID laws?
Yeah, they're usually pretty racist and they're bad.
I think voter ID laws are a way to perpetuate racism.
Would you go as far as say those laws are racist?
For sure.
Do you think it suppresses the African American vote?
Definitely. Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs.
In areas.
This boy don't look like he did a push-up a day in his life. How the hell you gonna talk for me, boy? Let me slow this down. What did he say? This is what they educate now people to think. University of California, Berkeley. This guy's at University of California, Berkeley. And this is what they think. This is crazy.
American vote?
Definitely. Because they're less likely to have state IDs.
Minority
Because they less likely to have state ID. Why? Because somebody told you this stupid shit.
voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
Okay, well, what other kind of IDs is it, boy? Okay, don't get this one messed up. What other kind of ID? What kind of ID do you have to have? I'm going live when I get to the airport. I'm telling them, go get the supervisor. I ain't got to have no ID. If I don't got to have an ID, I'm black. If I don't got to have an ID to vote, why do I got to have an ID to get on a plane? I'm black out here. I'm going to act ignorant today. I'm going to make sure I'm on that swagger there. I'm black out here. I don't got to have no ID to vote. No, I ain't trying to go to jail. I'm going to say, look here. I was told that this is Jim Crow 2.0. And so I'm not doing it. I'm done. I'm going to try to keep a Hey, I'm going to try to keep a serious face. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing it. I'm going to jail. I'm going to try not to get banned from the airport. I'm trying not to get banned, boy. It'll be fucked up. I got to fly everywhere. But, hey, look here. Don't chip out. Don't chip out now, Kwame. No, I ain't chipping out. I'm just going to hit them with them hot facts. I'm going to say, look, if I don't, just think about this. I'm going to say, look here, TSA to a regular person. If I don't need an ID to vote, one of the most important things in the world, why the hell I need an ID to fly? I ain't bothering nobody, just sitting in the seat. You don't need to know my ID. No, I'll call the NAACP, I'll call the SPLC, I'll call Hakeem Jeffries down this mother trucker. Because that gotta be some form of racism that you asking me. Me, all people, a black man, as much as I've been through. Let me stop. Oh, shit. Well, I can see them people now. They gonna call all kind of goddamn police on my big black ass. Oh, Lord. Ooh, she talking about, I'm gonna be waiting for the breaking news report. Miss Collins, Miss Collins want me to go down bad, boy. What the hell is going on, Miss Collins? What did I do to you? Miss Collins want me to go down. Bustlife is now 0 for all airports, now banned from all airports. Nah, don't say you a black man now. Yeah, I've been saying I'm a black. What else I'm supposed to be? I didn't know do I look Asian? No, I ain't no other race. Do I look Blasian? Yeah, no. I'm just going to ask some questions. I'm going to try to start off slow. I'm going to say, look, I don't think I should have to show my ID. She going to be like, what? I'm like, may I speak to a supervisor? If I don't have to show an ID to vote, surely I don't got to show an ID to get on the plane. No, I'm black. Call Hakeem Jeffries. I'm called Hakeem Jeffries. There you go with the dark energy. That how is that dark energy? See what I'm saying? Team, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't even want to hear. He'll probably say some shit like "Don't chimp out." Now he'll probably say some shit like that. Fucking racist.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs or other places.
What? How would you know where people live at? You know where everybody. So people just walked up to University of California, Berkeley, and told you where they live at. So to the point where you think you're so educated that you know where these people live. These people. Who are these people? You ain't never been around these people. You go to California, USC, Berkeley. You probably live in the nicest neighborhood you could think of. You ain't never been to Watts, Compton, or nowhere like that to know where these people live. The hell is you talking about? And you got to have an ID to get food stamps and government assistance. So everybody got ID, dummy. Don't you know we going to get that government assistance? Shit, we got ID. Don't be fooled. Fuck. Boy, I can't stand people like this. I ain't going to lie.
Where they can get identification.
You can always get IDs you do over the internet. Does that also make it difficult for black people in particular?
Yeah, you have to have access to the internet. You have to be able to pay an internet service provider for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of.
We got to be able to pay. Whoa, bitch. Oh, shit. She said we don't got the knowledge to get. You got to have knowledge to get an ID? Boy, these people, I got to go outside and smoke. I got to go outside and smoke. Lord have mercy. I'm trying to respond to his comment, and she popped her little. I got to take these people down off the screen. I got to take these people down off the screen because you can get harassed and bullied, man. She put her little ghost Count Dracula looking ass up on the screen after no melanin having little little person. No melanin having ass, need a tan, need a banker in a tanning bed looking fake ass Becky with the good hair looking. Oh my God, we don't have the knowledge. What? The fucking knowledge? You pasty. I'm gonna have to go out here and smoke. My dog shouldn't have ate my chocolate. My dog shouldn't have ate my chocolate. We don't have the income to pay when we have a $1 trillion spending base that every white mother organization know about and they tap into. Why you think they ran all of our businesses out the hood and put all of their businesses in the hood? We have a $1 trillion spending base. You stupid dude. And then you pasty broad. We have plenty of knowledge. I know enough to know I can't stand a broad like you. I can't stand a mother trucker like that. I can't stand a liberal. A fucking dirty, not all, but ones that think like this. That think that you're not smart enough. You just can't do it. If you can't go get an ID, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. You're not a functioning member of society. We want functioning members of society to be able to vote anyway. Ooh, that just pissed me off. That same woman will be calling security if I ask her out on a pizza date. Man, this shit crazy. No, she'll be the one call the police if you walk up the street. That is so disrespectful. God, that's so disrespectful. Salute to you, bro. Willie, sorry, don't do it, fam. I'm trying not to, man. Let me calm down. All right, I gotta keep going. Let me take this down. YouTube couldn't see her, so it wasn't no prolonged attack. Okay, let's let this beautiful person talk.
Provided for certain fees.
Do you think that's harder for black people to go online?
Well, I feel like they don't have the knowledge of how it works.
A lot of people have smartphones, but you might not have data.
For most of the communities, they don't really know what is.
They have smartphones, but they don't have data. You have a smartphone, but they don't have data? Does she not know Obama gave us free phones with data? I think I'm gonna have to end this live screen because I think I'm gonna get flagged. I don't think I can listen to this without getting flagged. Dog, you know what? I'm just gonna, let me, how much more of this shit? I don't think this is good for me. Okay, I need to go outside. I don't think I'm gonna comment no more. All of my comments are gonna be so disrespectful. I think I'm gonna just let the rest of this just play through, and I'm not gonna say nothing to this video because what I'm going to say is definitely going to get me flagged. So I'm going to avoid this by pressing the play button and acting like I don't hear this shit. Okay, that's what I'm going to be doing in the background. Because this is racism, if you ask me. If you want to know what racism look like, this is what racism look like in 2026. This is exactly racism, if you ask me. This is what's wrong with our black boys. They get taught by teachers like this. They listen to people that make excuses for them like this. And then when you go out into a competitive world, you cannot compete if you done heard excuses like this, and then you apply that to real life. No one wants to hear your excuses in real life. They don't make these type of excuses for themselves. They just want that type of excuse for you because they know what happens and they know where you're going to live at because of it. So I'm going to go outside and act like I don't hear this shit.
Out there just because they're not aware or like they're not informed. I also think there's a repression of like black voting with how if you're a convicted felon, like you're not allowed to vote and everything. And when you look at swing states like Florida, that's a huge population of the like African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No.
Okay. Whew, they done saved me. Boy, you see, I put my jacket on. I'm getting ready to go outside. I said, boy, I can't take this shit no more. Obamacare phone is a new roast when somebody pulls out a whack ass phone in front of you. Salute. Hey, that black woman said, she looking at him like, yes. Elegant sister. That's what I'm talking about.
What you just heard. Do you have ID normally?
Population of the like African Americans.
Now I'm here in East Harlem to ask black people their thoughts on what you just heard. Do you have ID normally? You carry ID around?
Yes, I have state ID.
Do you carry ID?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Ooh, elegant posture. Shoulders back, little afro, smile. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Yes, I do.
Do you know any black person who doesn't carry ID?
No.
No, I don't. And don't want to hang around none. What's wrong with you? Boy, let me go back outside, boy. I ain't get to go out there yet. Boy, ate my fucking chocolate.
Everyone that I know has an ID. Why would they think we don't have ID?
That's a lie. Why would they say that?
Do you have ID?
Yes.
Because I have my ID and my friends have their ID. So like, we know what we need to carry around.
Yeah, everybody that I know have ID. Like, that's one of the things you need to walk around with New York with, ID.
Do you know any black adult who does not have ID?
No, I don't.
Is it a weird thing to even say that?
Yes, it is.
What is this, some type of trick candy cameras?
I know, right? That's the only thing I brought with me.
Those are legit IDs. I heard a lot also that black people can't figure.
Look how he looking at him like, he looking like, man, I'm about a half a second away from kicking your ass. Look how he looking at him like, is this a trick question? Like, you on candy camera, like, what's going on? Like, this how real black people think about this stupid stuff that they saying. You don't never hear no black people, no real black people that ain't in no political space that's going to get paid to say this stupid stuff that say it's racist to ask us to have an ID. I think it's insulting to think I don't have one. I would love to just line up all the white people that think like that and curse them all out at one time. I would just want to see their face go red. When I slam my ID down and say, you're stupid, racist, I got an ID and everybody I know got an ID. Now get your head out your ass and stop being stupid. Stop trying to make it seem like this Jim Crow when my ancestor was getting bit by dogs and all we got to do is get an ID, you punk. I'll cuss them all out. I don't want to do it one by one. I just want to do it all at once.
Figure out how to get to the DMV.
Really?
What does that say to you?
I know it's that. It's on 25th Street.
Do you know where the DMV is around you?
It's on 100.
Man, I can't believe this. Do you know where the DMV is? He like, it's on 25th Street. It's on 125th, 128th Street. Like, what are you? Man, this is sad. I'm smoking and I just can't stop commenting.
25th Street and 3rd Avenue, I believe.
You know how to get there?
Yeah.
Would you have a problem getting there if you have to get there?
No.
I know these sound like silly questions. You know how to get to the DMV?
Of course.
You know where it is?
Yes.
You can get there?
Uh-huh.
No problem.
No problem.
Just checking.
Okay.
And I also heard a lot that black people, especially poor black people, have no access to the internet, can't figure out how to use.
I can see the Democratic Party like, no, they can't. These people are different type of blacks. Those are different. They probably sell dope or sell reefer. That's the only reason why they can afford an ID that's like $10, $20, and we control $1 trillion spending base, and we can still get Forgianos and beer and weed and liquor, but we just can't afford an ID. A racist son of a.
Use the internet.
That's just stupidity, honestly. Everybody has access to the internet. Even a little kid can figure out how to work the internet.
I had access to the internet for years.
You know how to use it properly, right?
Exactly. I do it at work. So, of course, I know how to use it. My kids know how to use it. They all have iPads, iPods, whatever.
Your phone has data?
Mm-hmm.
You can access the internet
Unlimited.
Unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say? Data?
Mm-hmm.
You can access the internet
Unlimited.
Yeah, shout out to Straight Talk. Shit, I get unlimited data for like $50. Fuck they talking about? I get unlimited data. And even if I run out of data, it slow down a little bit, but it's still data. And I can add more data to it. Like, what the hell are you talking about? The cheap plan, $45, you can get data. Like, what are they talking about? What did they take us for? You don't even got to have a plan and get data. The fuck? You could just straight talk, motherfucker. Come on, man. Let me hit him with that Joe Biden. Come on, man. We don't have data. We can't do nothing in their eyes. We don't got no data. We can't take a bus. We can't goddamn get to the DMV. Is there anything else we can't do? Them motherfuckers want to live life for us, I guess. That's love there. They love us so much, they want to live life for us.
Unlimited data.
Mm-hmm. I use my phone as a hotspot.
What does that say to you for the people who have this perception of black people?
They're pretty much ignorant. That's what my thought process was.
I just think that's ignorant. Ignorant.
Ignorant. That's the word I'm hearing a lot. Ignorant.
Very, very ignorant.
Does it sound racist for somebody to say that?
I think it is a little racist because, you're putting people in a category and you have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe a little bit of racist in it, but like I said, I think it's more stupidity and ignorance.
You're judging somebody, but you're judging them because they black, saying that they don't got it.
What people are they talking to? Who are these people talking to?
Do you have a problem that if you go to vote and they say, "Can we please see your ID to make sure you are who you say you are"? Are you
Love showing my ID.
You got no problem with that?
Nope.
Would you have a problem if when you go to vote, if they say, "Can we please just see your ID to make"?
This is New York. This is East New York, like the man said. Come on now, Big Hat Larry. He don't live in the area where you live. This is definitely New York. You could tell by the buildings this is New York. New York has got a skyline like no other now. You can't manufacture New York skyline. Ain't no city like got New York skyline. Motherfucker got buildings everywhere, boy. Nigga, you go to New York, you get overwhelmed with all them goddamn buildings. I'm from a place where ain't none of our buildings that tall. Y'all smallest building would be a giant building in my city. Shit, we got 2-story, nigga, 3. Okay, we done got 4-story buildings. That's it. But New York is intimidating. Hell yeah.
Make sure you are who you say you are. Do you have an issue with that?
No.
Would you have a problem if there was a rule where you have to show your ID in order to vote?
I don't think so. No.
Would you have an issue if there was a rule saying you got to show your ID before you vote?
Nah.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
I'm Amy Horowitz, and I'm here in Berkeley, California to find out if voter ID laws suppress laws.
Sure.
Do you think it suppresses?
I've been to have access to the internet. You have to be able to.
Started over. Nah, we don't want that. Oh, Dr. Bob. Yeah, thanks, Dr. Bob. Yeah, Dr. Bob. Thanks, Dr. Bob. Let's see. Let's see. Let's find some more.
You're a local teacher in your school. So you might have seen this, and if not, take a look. Amy Horowitz, who does these great man-on-the-street interviews, went in Manhattan, where he lives, and went specifically to Harlem, which is a largely black area of Manhattan, and just stopped people in the street and asked them if
I think we don't have ID.
because that's the charge, that it is discriminatory against blacks because blacks apparently are really challenged when it comes to getting an ID.
Minority voters are less likely to have the kinds of IDs that have been described or required.
These type of people don't live in areas with easy access to DMVs
Yeah,
or
that's
other
the
places to
same
get
one.
identification.
He's giving commentary over the same one. Yeah, but no, man, we ain't trying to hear that. I want y'all to see how Hakeem Jeffries got bodied. I want you to see how Hakeem Jeffries got bodied. This is on the view, their views.
Of your position, as opposed to attacking the patriotism of people on the Democratic side of the aisle. When, as far as I'm concerned, the most patriotic thing that we can do is stand up to ensure that our men and women in uniform aren't being recklessly sent into a costly war of choice, more than 12 of whom have already lost their lives.
I would ask my colleague, do you know the folks? Do you know the folks that were killed that you mentioned? Do you know their names? You brought up a number. Is that just politics? I know I'm supposed to address the chair, but I'm happy to yield a little time to my colleague. Do you know the members of the military that were killed? Sitting there silent.
He's sitting there silent because he don't know. The motherfucker just playing politics. I tell you, this Timu Obama just play politics. That's all they do. This Timu Obama, Timu, you know I'm fucking it up. Timu, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it. This fake Obama, I'm talking about super fake Obama, this is all he know. This is his only grift. These people are phony. They fake. When a military man that lost his legs in combat stand up and say, those were my brothers. This man left his legs over there. And shout out to this man. Thank you to this brother's service. He lost half of his body over there, really fought in war. So do you know how disrespectful it is to sit up there and use his people that he fought with and almost died with as a talking point? He used those people as a talking point as if he loved them. Pulling on the heartstrings of people, because if you listen to him talk, he a good talking mother trucker. Oh boy, I can see why so many people rally around him. This joker can talk, boy. Whoever writing his speeches is off the chain. He said it's dollar store Obama. I like that. That dollar store Obama. I like that one. I like that one better than Timu. I can say that one better. You goddamn, shout out to you, bro. Hold on, who said that? Let me go back up. Booster, appreciate that, Booster 1469. That damn dollar store Obama. He said that yard sale Obama. Hey, they keep getting good. Yard sale Obama. Hell yeah. He sit up here using these people that fought for our freedom to talk. Don't use these people as a talking points. That is so disrespectful. That's somebody's family. That's somebody's loved one that you using like that. Boy, these people don't have a soul, boy.
Just using it for politics.
Hakeem Jeffries walked onto the House floor with a carefully rehearsed speech about fallen troops, reckless wars, and constitutional violations. 5 fingers counted out nice and neat, hand gestures perfectly timed, dramatic pauses in all the right places. He dropped a number of dead service members and kept right on rolling like he had just said something profound. Then Brian Mast, a man who left both his legs on a battlefield, walked up to the mic and asked him one simple question. Do you know their names? What happened next was the loudest silence ever heard on the floor of the United States House of Representatives. Stick around, because this moment is something that cannot be unseen. Let's watch.
Let's just argue the merits of Donald Trump's reckless and costly war of choice and stop the ad hominem attacks, which aren't a sign of strength. It's just a sign of Republican weakness. This reckless and costly war was entered into without any plan, any objective, any exit strategy, any public support, and any approval of the United States Congress. There are 5 different objective reasons to have a problem with what's going on in the Middle East right now. In fact, we're just trying to help Donald Trump bring to life his own words. That as president, he wasn't going to start wars in the Middle East. He was going to stop them. Donald Trump's own words. Question his patriotism?
I want to thank my colleague for the speech that he just gave. Probably the most hypocritical speech that anybody could give. But I'm glad he gave it, because the truth is I'm well prepared to answer for this. So let's talk about engagements against Iran. What's going on? This is not the first time that this happened. Joe Biden was engaged against Iran. Why? Because of imminent threat. But let's examine the difference between when Joe Biden was engaged and President Trump was engaged. When Joe Biden engaged is because the Houthis, a direct arm of Iran, was attacking the United States of America's ships, merchant marine vessels, doing what they've been doing for decades, picking a fight. President Biden launched Operation Prosperity Garden against Iranian-backed Houthis, and that went on, not for 30 days, not for 60 days, not for 90 days, not for 6 months, went on for almost a year until January 2025, from November 23 till January of 25. And what happened during that time? How many times did my Democrat colleagues or Republicans offer a war powers resolution to say, remove all U.S. forces from this fight against Iran? I have the counter down here, it's 0. But before President Trump ever conducted any level of operation, Democrats introduced the removal of U.S. forces from hostilities with Iran. Today, again, doing another war power. What changed? What changed from not one war power from anybody to half a dozen? And I guess we're going to do another one next week.
What changed is they are against America. They are against this president. For whatever reason, they are so against this president that they're willing to go against America. Because it's sad. And that's why people are so turned off. They'll cry bloody murder when it's Trump, but we can see that you didn't do anything when it's the other president. So it's like, it's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them. See? It's kind of like what Finesse 2 Times was talking about. They only have a problem when it's Trump. And when things begin to be one-sided like that, then it's not about race. Then people start rallying behind people like that, because then they go to saying, well, why you doing this person so different? You treat them like he black. This is the same way they used to do us black folk, to where anything we do was wrong. So every time Trump make a move, you got all these weirdos against him. People can see that because the numbers are right there in front of you. Let's run them back.
Today again, doing another war power. What changed? What changed from not one war power from anybody to half a dozen? And I guess we're going to do another one next week. Politics. Everything that my colleague just talked about, his hypocritical remarks about we need to do these things, it's all politics. My Democrat colleagues are not paying attention to national security at all. They refuse to acknowledge the imminent threat that Iran has been, them killing our service members, them attacking us in place after place. They don't acknowledge it. When Joe Biden was responding to merchant marine vessels being attacked, it was okay. No war power needed. Went on for about a year. President Trump responds, war power, war power, war power, war power. Every week that they can do it. They tried doing it last week as well. That's the hypocrisy. My colleague brought up some of our service members that were killed. Take that very seriously. Seen it far too many times. That beautiful flag behind the speaker draped across caskets. Take it seriously every time. I personally believe that any time that a service member is killed, they should be lying in state, lying in honor here beneath the dome of the U.S. Capitol. I think they earn it more than anybody killed in action in defense of this country. That's my own personal belief on that. I would ask my colleague, do you know the folks? Do you know the folks that were killed that you mentioned? Do you know their names? You brought up a number. Is that just politics? I know I'm supposed to address the chair, but I'm happy to yield a little time to my colleague. Do you know the members of the military that were killed? Sitting there silent, just using it for politics. My brothers and sisters in arms are not politics.
Okay, let us break down what just happened. Jeffries came out looking like he had been rehearsing in front of a mirror all morning. The hand gestures, the dramatic pauses, the practiced outrage. 5 reasons to oppose what is happening in the Middle East counted out one by one on his fingers like a man who workshopped this speech since Thursday. He invoked fallen service members, dropped a number, and kept rolling like he had said something historic. Then Brian Mast stepped up and did not flinch for a single second. He called it immediately the most hypocritical speech anybody could give, and he came with receipts. Biden launched Operation Prosperity Garden against Iranian-backed Houthis in November 2023. It ran for over a full year. American ships attacked, American lives on the line. You know how many war powers resolutions Democrats introduced during all of that? 0. Not one. But the second President Trump responds to an imminent threat from Iran, suddenly every Democrat has read the Constitution. War power, war power, war power. Every single week. That is not principle. That is a political calendar.
Wait a minute, Kwame. You're seeing this? You're a coon. You're a coon, Kwame. You can see that they're being hypocritical, so you're a coon. You ain't black because you don't like hypocritical shit. So that makes you a coon, Kwame. You don't like black people because you can see this. That's been the only threat. You don't like black people because you can see this. that they just play games and think you're stupid. I want to be with some people that don't think I'm smart enough to get an ID. Nope, because I think that's insulting. You think I want to be with some people that think I'm too lazy to go to the DMV? Nope.
Then Mass shifted gears, and this is the moment everything changed. He started talking about the flag draped over caskets. You could feel every word because this is not a talking point for this man. He has lived that loss in ways most people in that building never will. And then he turned to Jeffries and asked one simple question. Do you know their names? Jeffries, the man who just gave a full Broadway production about fallen troops, sat there completely silent. Not a word, not a single name, just silence. He had a number. He had a statistic. He did not have a name. Mast exposed the whole performance without raising his voice once. That was not a debate win. That was a reckoning. Drop a comment and hit that like button. Sonnet 4.6.
Man, these people take everybody for a joke. Just tap into your rage, tap into your emotions, keep you there. Don't tell you what they're going to do for you. And if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Let me just insult you, little black ass, because that's what we think about you anyway. This shit is shame. This is shame, man. A crying shame at that. Because there's people out there that stop talking to their families for this shit. And then the fact of the matter is, the most people that stop talking to their families for this shit won't even talk or try to understand politics. They just know that they mad. And they just know that if you black, you better be Democrat. That's what our grandmamas taught us. It's the devil. The Republicans are the devil. You know what this shit remind me of? If I had to put it into a movie role, this remind me of Bobby Boucher. You alligators are artery because they're medulla oblongata. Mama's always right. Yeah, man. This is the Waterboy movie where Bobby Boucher was mad that the professor said mama was wrong. I'm telling you. This shit is crazy. This is what this remind me of, because that's what happens to us. You come with an individual thought, and it's against the community. You the devil. Y'all go look at that movie. It's the truth.
Early Learning Center. This building received over $3 million. Hello, how are you? I would like to see if I can bring little Joey, my son, little Joey here. Is there paperwork, or can I check out the daycare? No. Why can't I check out the daycare? Okay, but can I get paperwork or anything to submit my son, little Joey, to come in here to daycare? We'd really like to put Joey in this daycare. We've heard great things.
Business card?
No, I would like your business card, actually.
We talk to you later.
Okay, can I speak with somebody? Where are the children at? Are there children here today?
No.
No children?
Yeah.
Why are there no children?
There are two of Mexico.
Would my son, little Joey, have friends to play with here?
No.
No. No friends with little Joey?
Yes. Sorry.
Dang it. Well, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
So, little Joey would...
That's definitely a white name. I don't know no black little Joeys. Hey, he picked the whitest of the white names. Yeah, because my son, little Joey, we already can see you white, man. You ain't had to pick a white name that white. Little Joey. That's what I'm talking about. Nick Shirley said, can little Joey go to school here? Anybody know a black Joey? I know Joe. I know Joseph. I don't know no black Joeys. If anybody got a black Joey in the chat, let me know. A black person named Joey.
Not be accepted to that daycare. Joey's still looking for daycare. And because little Joey couldn't get into a daycare, we went to an autism center, as they have been popping up everywhere as a rise of autism has occurred here in Minnesota because of the government funds that they're receiving. I tried to check my son Joey into an autism center. We've been going to a lot of these daycare centers. We're trying to find a spot for our little boy Joey, but we thought maybe we could check him in the autism center because none of the daycare centers are open. Yeah, and how many kids do you guys have at this autism center?
I can't give you a number. Wait. So we got to talk about a massive update on the Somali fraud investigation happening out in Minneapolis, Minnesota by the federal government, because we were told by the mainstream liberal media and leftists that Nick Shirley's work as an independent journalist in Minneapolis, Minnesota was just racism, hate, and bigotry, right? Him going door to door to these daycares, to these allegedly fraudulent facilities and asking questions about the funding and whether or not they're actually legitimate establishments. Well, that was illegitimate, right? That he didn't actually really discover any fraud. He didn't really do any real journalism, right? This is what we were told by the mainstream liberal media and leftists and haters.
CNN is looking into Shirley's claims. Hi, my name's Whitney Wild. I'm a correspondent for CNN. We reached out to several of the daycares featured in the now viral video. Only one daycare facility answered and said they are a legitimate business.
Have you seen the videos, purporting that some of these daycares don't have kids inside?
Minnesota Republicans say despite the new focus from the Trump administration, they have been sounding the alarm on fraud for years.
We have talked about fraud. We have gotten stories. We've tried to push this forward every way that we can.
At the daycare where Shirley showed back up, a stream of children walk inside.
You're saying that this is a fraudulent daycare. There's kids being dropped off right now.
Yes, the commissioner of children literally said a week ago this place was closed. Did you know They're showing face right now.
A viral video, disputed claims, and their full fallout remains to be seen.
It was still some good investigative journalism.
On Nick Shirley's part?
That's the guy that exposed everything in Minnesota, right?
I wouldn't say he exposed everything.
I mean, he did. Didn't he expose the whole Minnesota fraud case? Or am I confusing people?
No. Because I think you might be confusing the fact that in Minnesota, the stuff that he was talking about was already being investigated.
So he just amplified.
It. And he also incorrectly amplified it because this dude, because he's not a journalist, doesn't know protocols, doesn't know what to.
So they always get one of us to sound stupid. If he amplified it, then that means he did good journalism because he made the world know about this shit. Didn't nobody know about this but local Minnesotans. And apparently nothing was being done about it. So what Nick Shirley did was not only put a spotlight on it, but he blew the whole motherfucking, that was an atomic bomb. That story went all over the place. And so, yes, he put a spotlight on the people who run the show in Minnesota. He put a spotlight on the Somalis community in Minnesota. And he let the world know that our money is being stolen. So, yeah, Nick Shirley is a hero. Y'all don't know it, but those was federal tax dollars. They stealing from everybody. So that's why it's insulting and it's offensive, and it don't make sense for this guy to be up here talking like this, or whatever this person is, because you're protecting thieves. You don't steal federal tax dollars from American citizens. That's everybody's money. That ain't just people in Minnesota. That was your money. That was my money. So that's why it's my business. They stole billions of dollars. And ain't nobody mad because, you know what, fuck Nick Shirley, he's just a racist. Everything got to fall under racism. It don't matter what he is. I don't care nothing about this dude, this dummy.
So then this dude also just shows up at a daycare and it's like, let me in with a camera. It's like, they were like, no. And they're like, well, you must be doing fraud. It's like, no, you are a grown man with a camera.
Wait a fucking minute. I don't like the way that sounded. My dog ate my Hershey's chocolate. For those of you that don't know, yeah, I got a dog. And that motherfucker ate my chocolate off the counter. Let me explain that shit. I don't like the way that shit sounded. Yeah, I had to explain that. Now back to the story.
camera that wants to come in. Yeah. No, that's crazy. And so
that's an interesting one though, because there clearly was something going on there that was wrong. Now, I don't know who hipped him to it or why he did what he did, but what if he heard about it just being in Minnesota and decided to be vigilante?
I think you, once again, this is like where journalism comes into play, and like, do you cite your sources? Do you get background on people? Do you ask the right questions so that you're not, when you are an independent creator and you're just over here trying to get clicks, you're trying to get clicks. So you ask questions that are going to lead to clicks. You're not necessarily asking.
What is wrong with this boy? Do you cite your sources? He is the goddamn source. He's the original. He's the one who blew the story open. Why are you talking so fast but saying nothing? He sounds so educated and put together. He probably can read good as a bitch too. But all I'm saying is, brother, you not making no sense. You don't got to cite no source if you're the source. If you're the one blowing the story wide open, you're the first of your kind. Have you ever heard of being an original? You always want to cite a source and can read what somebody else said. He the one who blew the cover off this shit, man. It said Leering Centers. That's the source. The moment America rolled Leering Center, America said, okay, we own to something. Leering Centers? Not learning centers that's supposed to be teaching kids with spelling it Leering Centers. When America saw that we knew that, boy, this finna be big. This was blatant. How the hell y'all locals let that happen right in y'all face? You could at least said change the sign, at least cover it up by spelling the shit the right way. No, you want to hit us right in the face. Just let us know you don't give a fuck. So we saw it.
Asking questions that get down to the truth of the matter.
He didn't do any investigation.
I don't think he did any investigation. And I also think that like he knows what he's doing. Even as someone who seems very dumb, he also knows what he's doing. Like a dumb bully can also be smart about bullying. Some people just have a talent for certain things, right? And so when I look at Nick Shirley, I'm like, whether he is right about the next story he engages or not, it's how he goes about it. And it's also who he does it to. Because it's not, journalism is supposed to be journalism across the board. If your journalism is only finding where the fraud is in any brown or black skinned community so that you can perpetuate.
Here we go with this color shit. Man, come on, man. That's your argument? Listen, I don't care that he's stealing from me because he black. If you got a job, son, if you making money, son, they stole from you too. And guess what? If somebody come in my yard and break into my car and steal something, I'm not going to say, fight the power, brother. You can steal that right there. No, I'm going to come outside and try to put my foot in your black ass. What is you talking about? So if a black person come in your house and take something right now, it's okay? What is this dude talking about? What he's saying make no sense. Everything don't got to be some color line shit that you talking about. God, this don't, man, I don't know about y'all, but this don't make no sense to me. Are these people real? Are these real people? In the hood, I ain't never seen a nigga say, oh man, you stole my Jordans, but it's cool because you black, dog. No, they put like pistol out on somebody that steal their Jordan. Where these people come from? This man making stealing a color thing. We supposed to hoorah and say, nah, man, them people that stole is black like us. Get the fuck out of here, man. This shit crazy. I can't believe this, man. And it's people that fall for this shit. Knowing damn well somebody steal from you right now, you ain't gonna be thinking about what color they is. You gonna be thinking about how in the fuck can you try me like that? That's how black folk talk. Who is this playing with me? That's the black folk I know. Who does nigga think he is playing with me? Me now. Cause we all got a little chip on our shoulder. I know they ain't finna play with me like that. That's what we probably gonna say. But they up here acting like they just gonna let somebody steal from them. That's crazy. Stealing even got a color.
So you can perpetuate a narrative that all black and brown people are scammers. You look at crack versus cocaine, right? And if we as a country really cared about people doing illicit drugs, why didn't we raid clubs? Why didn't we raid Studio 54? Why don't we raid people on Wall Street? Why don't we raid? We know to keep going to the places where the crack is, never where the cocaine is, right? And that's the sort of like classic Nick Shirley. That's Nick Shirley before Nick Shirley. That's a dude out here. All right.
Oh, this a dangerous Negro right here, boy. Boy, he dangerous, boy. Oh, he pulling on them heartstrings now. Because it's going to be people that hear that and be like, see, right, damn right. Because they going to know that they got an uncle like I got an uncle that went to jail. They going to have a brother like I went to jail. And back in the day, that's all that I would have needed to hear to be on this nigga's side. Yeah, back in the day, that's all. Boy, he just said the magic word. Boy, he brought up that. Because that right there is a truthful statement. So he brought that up, tied that into this. So now I'm with him now, boy. Boy, they know how to get us emotional, don't they? This Negro smart. Yeah, why didn't they go in the Club 54? Hell yeah, now it's about black and white again. You're right about that, dog. Fuck them white people. Boy, they know how to bring it back to that race, boy. They good. That's a dangerous Negro right there, boy. I'm scared of him. Yeah, I'm scared of him. Back in the day, that's all you would have needed. Well, I ain't scared of him now. Because, you know, I'm one of them. I ain't just woke. Nigga, I'm awake. But back in the day, man, that's all he would have had to say to me, boy. He'd had me hook, line, and sinker, boy. I've been ready to go back to Rosewood. Got me in my feelings, boy. Yeah, all my brothers went to jail. Got me in my feelings, boy. Yeah. I remember they came in kicking in the doors and shit. I'm about to, man. This nigga right. Anything he said that was stupid before that, he just validated it with these little statements right here. He got me. And he done added white guilt. Now white people gonna be guilty again. Cause they know they got there put in some bullshit rule. So he done brought the white guilt back out. So now he got twofold. He got a 2-for-1 with this speech right here. He got white people guilty, and he got Negroes ready to go to war about their uncles and shit that got locked up. Boy, they're dangerous. Yeah, that's a dangerous Negro right there, boy. If you want to know how they get you emotional, boy, that's it right there. That's it right there. Mix in a little bit of truth with some bullshit. And it tastes good. That nigga almost got me, boy. I started thinking about white people stealing our land. Yeah, I'm going backwards. Going motherfucking backwards, boy. I used to be like that too, KB. Yeah, that's all I needed to start making me think about some shit that had been done to me. And now I done forgot the topic. It's all about stealing my land. It's all about some other shit now. This boy, he's good now. He's good at what he's doing. And this is what they have perfected. They have perfected this shit. And if you do this into a crowd, all it takes is a few strong ones at the top to start agreeing, and then everybody else will acquiesce. You get the women to agree, and you get the strongest men. Because one thing about some of these strong niggas, boy, the only person they'll listen to is their woman. She can turn that boy into a straight unaliver, and she can turn him into a calm Negro. So in a large group, the strong ones brainwash the weaker ones. And they run this playbook over and over and over again. Now it ain't even about stealing no more. It's about getting black folks to be on the side of other people that's a darker hue like them. As if your black ass gonna get off with stealing. You should be mad that you struggling right now and some of your tax dollars that you didn't even have to be taxed because you paying for Somali daycares and shit, and they stealing your money, and you ain't even mad. So I want your black ass to leave one of them cars outside with them Forgianos in it. And since you so charitable, just put a blinking light on and let me know you the type of blacks that's so nice that you will let somebody your skin color steal your shit. And I'll be by there to pick up your Chevy in the morning, motherfucker. Since you that nice, I'll be by there to pick up that Chevy on Forgianos in the morning. Yeah, since y'all niggas done changed up. Y'all like the niggas that back in the day. I'm used to being around the Negroes that'll unalive you over Jordans. You know what I'm saying? That if you push past me in a line, I might pop you over them shoes. But, you know, since you so nice now, you don't care nothing about nobody stealing from you. Because this brother say because they black or they brown skin, because they added in brown, because we all know they're not black. They'll tell you they're not black. They make sure you know they're not black. But, you know, since I know y'all so charitable now, just put a 1 in the chat if you got a newer model car. This is how I'm gonna make sure I know where I can go. Send my niggas at, you know what I mean? Since y'all so nice, y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Y'all ain't gonna pop nothing, you know. Put a 1 in the chat if you got a nicer, newer vehicle. And put a 1 and a 2. Put a 12 in the chat if you got nice rims on it and a sound system. Yeah, go buy y'all shit first. Yeah, Bama boy. Yeah, boy, we need that. I'm dropping the link. Get in the back chat. Send your addresses, you know, because long as I send some black or brown people there, y'all just gonna let them have y'all shit, ain't it? Nigga said 0. Yeah, I'm just saying. Y'all these new type of Negroes. I love y'all. Shit, I got a new grill. Send black people with these niggas so charitable now. They gonna let black folks take their shit. Bama boy, don't come out there with no chopper now. You know, because you seem nice. You know what I mean? You say black people can get it. Exactly. That make no sense. Too much season. It makes no damn sense, do it? Exactly. It makes no sense. Thank you. I'm the right guy to put it in layman terms what this guy is saying.
I see these people as villains. So it doesn't even matter that right behind Nick Shirley in a suburban community, you might have all the white collar fraud that you could make content out of for 10 years. We're not going to cover that because that's my neighbor. He's not a criminal. It's these people over here that I got to drive to that are different than me that must be the criminals.
We know it's real, right? Because we know 78 people have been charged, 60 convicted and pled guilty. So when you know that, does the intention, you know, or the why he may have done it or the how he did it, does that matter?
I do think the how matters because I think the how is the difference between a journalist and between like a troll. Do you know what I mean? Like, because Nick Shirley did not lead to all those convictions. Nick Shirley did not like to me, Nick Shirley is like someone who will go somewhere with a microphone already following a narrative and a story that they've established ahead of time.
Yeah. So you see that, you heard that. That guy is drunk off of haterade, right? He's a full-blown hater of Nick Shirley. He's upset because Nick Shirley is doing what journalists used to do, what CBS is now inspired to do, right? I mean, we have talked about the fraud that's going on out in California with some of the hospice centers. CBS is doing Nick Shirley style journalism, right? I mean, he's inspired at least some mainstream liberal media outlets to get back to what they're supposed to be doing. But for whatever reason, you know, these leftists, these liberal journalists, propagandists don't believe that Nick Shirley is actually doing real journalism, right? That his work is illegitimate or that it should be dismissed because he's quote unquote targeting black and brown people. And he's not going after those whites who do coke, right?
Damn. Now, black people ain't had nothing to do with the stealing. And look at what they're doing, using black people. We ain't Somalian. We ain't got nothing to do with them Somalians stealing. Now, I want y'all to look at that steakum right here. I want y'all, oh, shit. I'm dripping juice on my computer. Look at this steakum. Motherfucker juicy. What? Look at that. Ooh, ooh. That's the right temperature now. Ooh, ooh, I done dripped on my damn. I done dripped a little steak juice on my computer. Yeah, man. Done dripped a little steak juice on my computer. Boy, that thing juicy. I ain't gonna let my dog eat it. I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere. Man, I'll fuck order up about this steak. Focus, boy.
And I'm like, okay, well, if you believe that, right? If you believe there's white collar crime or, white people doing stuff that, should be exposed, right? Fraud, then how about you go after it, right? How about you cover it? I'm just saying. So with that being said, Nick Shirley is doing the Lord's work, right? He's a patriot, and he also is leading to some of these individuals actually being charged for the fraud, right? Because the same daycare, one of the daycares that he covered, that he exposed, the owner has now been charged with a $4.6 million fraud scheme. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
Developments now in Minnesota fraud investigations.
Yeah, that's right. Saying with what Melina had just brought up, a Minneapolis daycare owner already charged in the massive Feeding Our Future scandal is now accused of stealing millions. Here's those details.
Authorities are accusing Fahima Mahmood of submitting more than 13,000 fraudulent child care assistant claims worth roughly $4.6 million between 2022 and 2025. The CEO of Future Leaders Early Learning Daycare in Minneapolis was also indicted in February.
Future Leaders Early Learning Daycare. Now, I guess it's a good thing they didn't spell it as Leering, right? They didn't spell it as the Future Leaders Early Learning Daycare Center, right? You guys remember the Leering Center, right? The Quality Leering Center. Yeah, I mean, come on. I think everybody knows what's going on here, right? Everybody knows these operations aren't legit. And I believe that more indictments and charges are coming for certain, right? For a lot of these daycares that were exposed by Nick Shirley. It's just going to take time, right? Because they have to gather the evidence. Like, this stuff is not, it's not stuff that happens overnight, okay? But we are seeing the federal government step it up here and actually start holding people accountable.
Prosecutors say she falsely claimed to serve thousands of meals through the federal nutrition program tied to Feeding Our Future. That's the pandemic-era food aid fraud scheme involving $250 million and dozens of people charged.
Yeah. So is anybody surprised here that this individual was involved?
I already ate my black beans. I had some rice, black beans, and plantains. So I left my plantains to eat with my steak. But yeah, the size was black beans and rice. But I wanted to eat that first. That steak is done, brother. This is done the way I like it. I ain't burned this steak. Boy, this steak is amazing, man. That's that. See, you don't understand, man. You don't understand the seasoning that I use. What? You don't know what you're looking at there, boy. That ain't nothing but a little Montreal seasoning, boy. Yeah, boy, that ain't nothing but a little Montreal seasoning there, boy. Yeah. That ain't raw. This is perfect. Oh, shit, that boy juicy. Damn. Boy, that is perfect. Oh, that boy juicy. That is a perfect slice. Yeah. Yeah, a little char at the top. Yeah. Monkey bene. Boy, you still can throw down, boy. That's a juicy piece of meat, that boy. That thing dripping. Look at that. Got that char on there. That thing dripping all in my hand. That's how you're supposed to eat a steak. That's bison. I'm not no part vampire. That's how you eat a steak now. Couple more minutes on there, you're gonna have that motherfucker tough as nails. You have that motherfucker tough. How many you ordered? No, I just cooked this, boy. You can't order no shit like this. You gotta cook this straight up direct on your own. You know what I mean? Yes, yes. Boy, this thing just getting juicier and juicier as it get to the big part. I can throw down.
In multiple fraudulent schemes, right? So you're talking about government tax dollars going towards feeding people, fraud, right? It end up being fraudulent. And you're talking about government tax dollars going towards taking care of children, daycare centers, also fraudulent, right? These people, these Somalis in Minneapolis, Minnesota, have literally built businesses, multi-billion-dollar businesses based off fraud, right? And it really should frustrate the average everyday person, because we get out here.
That man is exposing fraud. You say it look dry to you. Boy, this shit dripping all over the goddamn, it's trying to drip on the computer, boy. Do you see the perfect char that I got on the outside of that with the perfect tenderness and the juice is like busting out? You see how wet that motherfucker is, boy? Man, you tripping. Well, you don't know what you're looking at, boy. I will cook to perfection. You don't know what you're looking at there, son.
You know, we work regular, normal jobs, right? We do the right thing, and we don't become millionaires overnight because of it, right? But you got these Somalis who, you know, come over to this country and they participate in fraud. And not only are they living extravagant lifestyles, they're sending the money to Somalia and is ending up in the hands of terrorists, right? Allegedly. So again, extremely frustrating.
Leaders Early Learning Center. This building received
Future Leaders Early Learning was featured in a viral video by influencer Nick Shirley. It showed apparently empty childcare centers and helped trigger a federal response. Following the video, federal officials froze roughly $185 million in childcare funding to Minnesota and deployed thousands of immigration agents to the Twin Cities area. Meanwhile, at a Senate hearing yesterday, a whistleblower is testifying they face retaliation after raising concerns about abuse inside Minnesota state programs.
I naively tried to get these problems solved because I thought I should. I was trespassed from my own workplace, and I was a victim of a smear campaign.
Damn. She tried to say this was happening and got thrown out the job. God, that's diabolical. Imagine doing your job. Hey, man, I think they stealing over here. X, Y, and Z. Oh yeah, you think they stealing? Oh, okay. I'm gonna need you to pack up all your shit. Hey, imagine that. You do your job as a person that's supposed to be looking out for the company. Yeah. How many people you say stealing? Oh yeah, 6. Okay, 6 of them stealing. Oh, okay. What they look like? Oh, them 6 over there. Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna need you to pack up all your shit then. Yeah, don't come back. What you mean? I'm just exposing the steal. I said don't come back. Yeah, make sure that person is take a key card, take a pension. What would make anybody want to tell the truth? You wonder why so much lying and stealing and going on. If they walking you out from the top down for trying to do the right thing, trying to save taxpayers their money, them people that work there still got families. They got struggling families that's paying these high gas prices too. So you think they want to see the world, all they people getting stolen from? If people knew what the severity of what was going on, they don't even know what to be angry about. They hearing so much about Trump that's the only thing they angry about. Only if they knew these people stole your money. And if you're that nice, you know, just they can take from you just because you black. Then why won't you let my cousins come over there and get some shit? Leave the Forgianos outside with the Chevys. We'll come by. Don't shoot us now. Let us just come get it. You let the Somalians get it. Show a little brotherly love. Black and brown love. You let the Somalians get it. Let the blacks get it. Nobody don't want no blacks to have nothing. Blacks don't even want blacks to have nothing. Because if you can let Somalians get something, surely, my brother, you can let me get something. Oh, man, this shit is funny to me, boy. This shit is crazy. I ain't never seen these type of black people. Hey, y'all done turned nice, boy. Because if y'all about to start letting black and brown people come in y'all yard and take shit, man, we done came a long way. I will say that. We done came a long way. I don't think that's going to work out in Memphis, though. I think you should skip over Memphis. That's about the only spot that I don't think they're going to get the memo.
I was investigated for being, of course, a incompetent employee, but I was investigated for bugging offices, and I was called racist.
A former state investigator telling lawmakers his unit was pressured after documenting alleged fraud involving childcare centers receiving taxpayer money.
A senior DHS official became angry when they reviewed the document and ordered me to delete a number of paragraphs where I described the scope of the fraud. I soon learned that my refusal to hide this information from the auditor angered a number of high-ranking officials, and within days, the same official told me, quote, "You better be ready for the blank storm that's coming your way."
Jay Swanson testifying that some childcare operators paid parents to keep children at home.
What they would do is they would tell the mothers that we don't want you to bring the kids to our child care center. You take care of your kids at home, but we'll pay you. So a mother of 5 children would, be taking in $1,000 a month to take care of their kids at home. And then in order to fulfill the education or work requirement, the child care center would falsify employment documents so the mothers could take those to their caseworker and show them that they were working at the child care center.
Lawmakers say their testimony could shape future oversight in whistleblower protections.
Yeah. So you've seen that, you heard that. Now, this also comes as the DOJ is announcing more charges, more arrests when it comes to the Minnesota fraud scandal. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Remember when I told y'all the truth will set you free? Sure will. Free from your job, free from your friends, free from your kids. They want to take everything from you, boy, just for telling the truth. Just for telling the freaking truth.
Good morning to you all. My name is Colin McDonald, Assistant Attorney General for the National Fraud Enforcement Division at the Department of Justice. I am joined today by a lineup of committed public servants who are devoted to protecting the financial security of America. Today, we are announcing criminal charges against 15 defendants in Minnesota for fraud schemes that targeted over $90 million in taxpayer dollars. Let me be clear up front about something. This is not the end of our work in Minnesota. This is not the end of the beginning of our work in Minnesota. This is the beginning of our work in Minnesota. The fraud here in Minnesota is shocking. Our cases today involve 7 different state-managed Medicaid programs that have been systematically pilfered by fraudsters who treated Minnesota-run programs.
You call it out, you're called racist Islamic. Oh my goodness. So now it's a race thing to stealing. They always gotta use us black folk for everything. We ain't got nothing to do with them Somali people. This ain't got shit to do with black people. They stole. They need to get caught, go to jail, give us our damn money back, just like we would have to do.
As their personal piggy bank. One of the programs has been completely shut down because there's no money left. It's all gone. That was Minnesota's state-run Housing Stabilization Services Program, designed to help the homeless find and maintain housing. It was estimated in 2020 that it would cost only about $2.5 million a year to fund this program, but it ended up costing almost 50 times that much, over $104 million by 2024 due to fraud. And because of all the fraud, Minnesota had to shut the program down in 2025 And now these services no longer exist for these vulnerable homeless populations. The same trends exist for other Minnesota-run taxpayer-funded programs. An autism program that cost the taxpayer $600,000 just 6 years ago skyrocketed to over $400 million. And to be sure, that number is not driven by supply and demand. It is not driven by healthcare or charity. It is fraud. To tackle this crisis, and it is a crisis in Minnesota, earlier this year, the Department of Justice surged 11 strike force prosecutors from across the country to be here on the ground fighting the rampant fraud targeting our taxpayer-funded programs. And large numbers of agents from our partners at the FBI, HHS-OIG, HSI, IRSCI, and others joined our prosecutors to rapidly unmask fraudulent actors in Minnesota. These agents and prosecutors have been working around the clock to root out the criminals stealing taxpayer dollars, and I am proud of all they accomplished in such a short time. Their hard work made today possible. Make no mistake, today's charges are unprecedented. They include the highest loss amount ever charged in a Medicaid case in Minnesota, and the largest autism fraud scheme ever charged by the Department of Justice. The common theme throughout these cases is fraudsters exploiting vulnerable programs and vulnerable people to enrich themselves, no matter the consequences to the programs or to the people. For example, one defendant is charged with defrauding the Integrated Community Supports Medicaid program. This program is designed to help individuals with disabilities live independently. One patient was supposed to be receiving 24-hour care through this program, but he was actually being serviced by a fraudster and received no services. This patient was later found dead. Meanwhile, the architect of this fraud scheme was billing Medicaid as if he was providing care to this patient. The defendant even submitted a claim of over $400 for services he never provided the day before this man died. In another example, 2 defendants have been charged for defrauding a program designed to offer medical services to those with autism spectrum disorder. As alleged, the defendants paid kickbacks to parents who brought their children to autism centers, diagnosed children with autism regardless of medical necessity, and billed for autism services that were never actually provided. In one final example, 2 defendants have been charged in an over $22 million fraud scheme involving the Individualized Home Supports Program. This program was meant to support disabled individuals who wanted to live in their own homes. Instead, these disabled individuals were used like lottery tickets by these defendants to generate millions of dollars, which these defendants used to expand their real estate holdings, purchase luxury vehicles, and splurge on expensive jewelry. We will not, full stop, tolerate this greed and deceit. We will not let fraudsters bankrupt Medicare and Medicaid the same way that they bankrupted the Housing Stabilization Services Program. As mentioned, this is just the beginning. With the support of President Trump, Vice President Vance, Acting Attorney General Blanche, Chairman Ferguson and the White House Anti-Fraud Task Force, Secretary Kennedy, Dr. Oz and his team, and the entire federal fraud-fighting apparatus, the Department of Justice will continue expanding our reach across the country to pursue all fraud, no matter how large, no matter how small, no matter how hard. Since April 1st, DOJ's Fraud Division has announced over 450 fraud enforcement actions nationwide, representing billions of taxpayer dollars. And this week already, we're delivering results coast to coast with a trial conviction in Brooklyn involving a $40 million drug distribution and fraud scheme, and a trial conviction in Los Angeles involving a $40 million Botox injection fraud scheme. To expand our reach, we are announcing today the expansion of the healthcare fraud Midwest Strike Force to Minnesota, and the hiring of 15 additional prosecutors dedicated to combating Medicaid fraud nationwide. These additional resources will ensure that the DOJ's Fraud Division will be better equipped to stop fraud and hold criminals accountable.
Yeah. So you see, now you heard that, right? You get the gist of what's going on here. You have more individuals who are charged with fraud, a lot of them, probably Somalis, but we're going to see what more information comes out. In the meantime, you have one of the architects of the massive fraud out in Minneapolis, Minnesota. She is now being sentenced, right? She has been sentenced to prison. She's going to be serving a whole lot of time.
And meantime, on this very same day, the woman convicted as a kingpin at the center of the massive Feeding Our Future scandal is sentenced to 41.5 years in jail. That works out to be a little more than 35 years before she has a shot at parole. Amy Bach is her name. She's also on the hook for...
God dang. Oh my goodness. 31. Wow, whoa. How much time they say she got?
as a kingpin at the center of the massive Feeding Our Future scandal is sentenced to 41.5 years.
41 years. God, dog. Ooh, shucks. Well, they don't play about that fraud shit. Yep, convicted as a kingpin. Well, how come it ain't no people out there screaming for this lady saying don't separate her from her kid like they do for them illegal? Let this woman out. Don't separate her from her kid. She was trying to feed her family. Damn. Them kids gonna grow up without her if she got any kids, boy. 41 years? You talking about a full dinner one? Man. Talking about serve her right. Damn, I thought you ain't supposed to wish jail on nobody. God, dog, boy, she got more time than a clock. Lord have mercy. Kwame, she snitching on 𝐬𝐤𝐰𝐻 right now. Boy, 𝐬𝐤𝐰𝐻 be my get out of jail free card. But you got to be careful. 𝐬𝐤𝐰𝐻 got that paper. It won't be nothing for her to get her gone. She got to be careful, boy. She's sending a call in to them other Somalians up in there. She mess around and end up on that Epstein list, if you know what I mean. She mess around and end up on that Epstein list. Boy, she got more time than a clock, boy, for real. 41 years? What the hell? Man, look here. Man, go ahead and give me the chair. Fuck that shit. 41 years. I gotta smell funky Negro. And I gotta hear Negroes trying to rap and do all sorts of things for 41 years. People trying to doo-doo in the same room I'm trying to sleep in. That's grounds for me to fight. I have to go to the hole every day. And I don't even like the hole. I don't know what I would do, boy. Lord have mercy. I'm just glad I ain't real. Yeah, I'm glad I ain't real. I am not real, boy.
In jail. That works out to be a little more than 35 years before she has a shot at parole. 𝐬𝐵 is her name. She's also on the hook for $243 million in restitution. And that is the amount of money the court determined was scammed from taxpayers in that Feeding Our Future scandal alone. 𝐬𝐵 sobbed in the courtroom before she was sentenced. With shackled hands and feet, she said, quote, "I understand I failed. I failed the public, my family, everyone." Now, in March of 2025, 𝐬𝐵 was convicted of mail fraud, wire fraud, bribery, and conspiracy. Prosecutors say she pulled the strings on this pandemic scandal with a program that was intended to feed poor kids during the pandemic. Instead, fraudsters billed Medicaid for meals that were never delivered. Before today, 79 people had been charged with defrauding taxpayers for pandemic money. 65 of them, Bill, have been convicted.
Yeah, Mike, I got to believe that people watch that news conference and were just raging at the screen, learning the details of this fraud and just how deep some of these networks ran. Mike, thank you for the update out of Chicago. All right.
Yeah, huge. Absolutely huge. You know, again, I think this administration deserves credit, to be honest with you, right? I mean, fraud has become a national conversation. It is happening way too much in this country. It is something that Democrats let get out of control, and they will continue to do so, right? Fraud is a part of the business model of the Democrat Party. When you understand that Democrats thrive off of fraud, then you understand why is it that they love socialism so much, right? Because unlimited handouts where you just give money, taxpayer dollars, to all of these entities, right? That is great for fraud, right? And that's great for Democrats because it allows them to maintain power and control.
Hey, that's funny as hell. Like you said that. That's great for fraud, and that's great for Democrats because they just want to maintain power and control. Man, that's crazy. That is crazy, man. I got another video for y'all. This for all the black women out there. I just want to say before this video starts, I love y'all. You guys are somebody. You guys are important. All the black and white women. I love all y'all. Black, white, Asian, just women in general. I love all y'all. y'all beautiful specimens, and I acknowledge you. I acknowledge you, because ain't there a woman in Congress gonna acknowledge y'all that? Watch this. Ain't nary black woman in Congress gonna ever acknowledge y'all women ever again. That shit's sad. But I just want to let y'all women know that it ain't got nothing to do with me. You guys are somebody. I got something in my teeth, but I love each and every last one of y'all women. Every last one of y'all. Y'all are somebody. Y'all are people. Y'all beautiful. I love you all. Love you to the moon. Like Sister T say. But that'll be the only time you get acknowledged, because they ain't going to acknowledge you nowhere else. Watch this.
Can you define what a woman is?
A woman is a person who says she is. And let me just tell you one story about this, because when I was
No,
a
you're not going to tell
child-
me a story. We're not doing that right now. It's not story time.
Would you agree with the statement that Charlie Kirk was
Oh, I set that up perfectly too. Oh, that's funny. All these rights that women fought for, and that shit is gone in the blink of an eye, because we don't even know what the hell a woman is no more. Everybody a woman. You a woman. You a woman. Don't do it, KB. I'm just trying to sound like Oprah. I'm just going over this story because I think it's hilarious that they ask these women this and this be the answer. I just think it's funny. I'm sorry.
a dangerous extremist?
I can't answer the question that way. I can certainly say that statements that I am aware of that Mr. Kirk made were ones that I would consider to be dangerous.
And would those be the ones that he took directly from the Bible repeatedly?
I'm referring to the ones that he made about Black women and Black communities, the stereotyping that stereotyped whole group of people.
So you would put him on a list of dangerous people that should, as the Southern Poverty Center did.
I don't designate groups. I'm just.
Well, you've had
answering your
opinions on
question.
everything the Democrats asked for. I just thought you might have an opinion on that.
I shared my opinion about some of the things I heard he said, yes.
Okay. Would you agree that a group could be good, have a great mission, do a lot of good things, but also commit crimes?
Well, I mean, anything is possible. I think what we're talking about today is a
that was kind of a yes or no, but
it's a specific organization we're talking about, though, which is Southern Poverty Law Center. And
so
I think
your opinion is they can't commit crimes because they do good?
my opinion is that we see a prosecution where we know that the Southern Poverty Law Center offered evidence and is asking for accountability about whether that exculpatory evidence was shown to a grand jury.
Boy. So we got to talk about a hilarious so their demand. They all the answers look back.
I have a couple of questions for you. Do you still believe in defunding the police?
I believe in public safety, and that means driving dollars to where we're most likely to prevent crimes from happening and ensure that we have responsive law enforcement that doesn't violate people's rights and it prevents crime.
Does that mean driving dollars away from law enforcement?
It means making sure we're driving dollars to the things that support public safety, and that's a variety of things.
So possibly away from law enforcement.
Well, I think we have law enforcement. We have talked about the need for law enforcement, particularly when we're fighting hate and bias crimes, which
I agree,
have more than doubled in this country since 2015.
Law enforcement is very important. During your mayoral race a few years ago, you said, quote, "I'm going to take $1 billion from New York City Police Department." Do you still think that's a good idea?
Well, I'm here to talk about hate crimes, not my run for city. I stand by my run for mayor, and I appreciate the opportunity to try to drive dollars to public safety.
You have to cut the police budget and change what we mean by policing. Do you still stand by that statement as well?
I stand by the need to invest in community safety, to ensure that we have a
defunding the
vibrant
police.
civil rights community that is able to participate in
I just want to
keeping
be
our
clear.
community
You believe
safe
in
from hate
investing
and
in
bias.
community safety by defunding the police.
I am here to say that I'm really grateful we have the Southern Poverty Law Center because it is doing work, including with law
and you think that
enforcement,
defunding
to
the police
prevent
makes our community
hate and
safer?
bias.
Okay, I've got another question.
Yeah, this is so funny to me because Democrats just don't get it, right? They just don't understand that all you got to do is just say, no, I don't believe in defund the police. She can't even say those words, right? Like, it's not a gotcha, right? It's only a gotcha to somebody who does not believe in law enforcement, right? It's only a gotcha to somebody who's soft on crime, who does believe in defunding the police, right? It's only a gotcha to that type of person. The fact that she cannot answer that question with a straight face, even though, again, she doesn't really lose anything from it, right? I mean, with people that believe in common sense, that believe in law enforcement, I mean, she might lose some brownie points with the far left, right? But the fact that she can't answer that question is indicative of the fact that, yeah, she certainly believes in defund the police, right? Certainly, that's exactly what she believes in, just like all of these far left radical lunatics, okay?
For what is a black job?
You'd have to ask Donald Trump.
I'm not sure what that means. I'm referring to a statement that you made a year ago on your LinkedIn. I was so honored and proud to be a New York State delegate for our next president, with Vice President Kamala Harris ascending to her black job.
Donald Trump.
Oh, so she can say black job, but Trump can't. Oh, okay. That makes sense. She can say black job in a tweet about somebody, but if Trump do it, then it's offensive. Gotcha.
Statement that you made a year ago on your LinkedIn. I was so honored and proud to be a New York State referring to black job.
You'd have to ask Donald Trump.
I'm not sure what that means. I'm referring to a statement that you made a year ago on your LinkedIn. I was so honored and proud to be a New York State delegate for our next president, with Vice President Kamala Harris ascending to her black job.
Donald Trump made a comment that was very stereotypical about black people, and it was a joke about his stereotypical statement about black
What is a black job?
You'll have to ask Donald Trump.
Well, Donald Trump's not on the witness stand.
Well, and I'm here to talk about hate crime, which I hope you want to talk about as
Could
well.
the gentleman
will yield, I can clarify that.
No, I'd like to hear from the witness, but I appreciate it. Could Hillary Clinton have filled that black job? What you call
You have to ask Donald Trump.
Okay.
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. These Democrats, boy, I can't stand them. I can't stand them. Right? The hypocrisy is crazy. Clearly,
Wayne, I'd got a couple questions for you.
black, right?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Dr. Swain, got a couple questions for you. And thank you again for being here. In your book, The New White Nationalism, which is excellent, you wrote that in 2002, there were approximately 2,000 KKK members in the entire nation. Sounds like you believe a large portion of them were paid informants. Do you think that the SPLC was involved back in 2002?
Well, there was a scholar named Larry.
If you can turn the mic on, please.
There was a scholar named Larry Wilcox that I referenced, and he did research, and he was very critical of the Southern Poverty Law Center. And he said at one point that there were more paid informants than actually KKK members. And I would concede that the Southern Poverty Law Center was very successful as far as bankrupting the neo-Nazis and the KKK. So I would concede that. But I will also argue that as early as 2009, when I wrote the article that triggered the Southern Poverty Law Center, at that time, the new Black Panther Party was patrolling the polls, I think in Philadelphia, and they were intimidating white people, and they had sticks in their hands, and the Southern Poverty Law Center had not labeled them as a hate group. And so in the blog, where I ended with, instead of monitoring hate groups, the Southern Poverty Law Center has become one. Instead of labeling or listing the new Black Panther Party, what they did, they went after Lou Dobbs, and they went after the Center for Immigration Studies and anyone who questioned liberal immigration policies.
Mm-hmm. And we've got about.
And this is where we get into the side to where I said I don't belong to any groups, because these groups end up destroying us. Majority of these groups, they always start off intending good. And then the group just get a little out of hand, and then it turns into something else. I think you can go down the list of every group, every gang, every whatever. It started off as something good. And what it is now is something different. So it won't be no groups for me. because I want a chance to change my mind and evolve and grow. And when you're in a group, you have to group think. There's no involvement. There's no growth. You have to take orders. So no groups for me.
15, 20 seconds left. Can you just, to sort of close this out, what are the dangers of paying for these informants and extremist groups like the KKK?
You get biased information if you're paying people for information. And one of the dangers for our society is that the Southern Poverty Law Center has pretty much become an arm of the Democratic Party. They are very partisan. They should not have that 501c3 status if they're going to take a side in, if they're going to be biased in how they monitor groups and how they destroy individuals like me.
Thank you, Dr. Swain. Ms. White.
Facts. Right. It's kind of amazing how that works, right? How they smear people based off political opinion rather than, actual racism, hate, and bigotry. Like Dr. Carol Swain, who I'm sure they see as somebody that is white supremacist adjacent, right? I be watching these black liberals, bro. They literally believe that black conservatives are white supremacists, right? And I just laugh so much. And it's like, I think it's time to have a real conversation about, hey guys, do you actually really want to live in a country that is a majority not white, right? I mean, seriously, like I've been thinking about that, right?
Damn, what the fuck? I ain't gonna go that far with you, brother. So I'm gonna cut that off right there. Yeah, I ain't going that far with you. That's you tripping. Cause goddamn, there's some real good black folk. There's some real good Mexican folk. I don't look at the color of people. I look at the character of people. It's all color jackasses. It's a Skittles box of jackass. So yeah. All right, hold on, y'all. I got to call y'all back. I got to come back with y'all. I got to handle some business. Appreciate y'all. I'm up out of this thing. I'm gone.